Good afternoon. Oh, come on, you do better than that. Good afternoon. All right, Sparty's ready. Thanks to everyone for joining us. It is a great day to be a Spartan. And I'm thrilled that so many of you could join us today to welcome a new leader to our team and to our Spartan family here at Michigan State University. I also want to acknowledge attending Board of Trustees members Kelly Tebay, Rebecca Barhart-Cook, Mike Balo, Dennis Deno, Renee Kanaki-Jefferson, and Rima Vassar. Thank you for joining us today. I want to thank our trustees and other campus leaders and external advisors for their support of me during this very important search and providing important insights to the search firm to help us develop the leadership profile for this position. When I set out on this search, I told our Board of Trustees that we were going to aim big. We were going to aim high. And I appreciated that they supported me in running the search with the freedom to go land an outstanding top-tier athletic director. And top tier is what we are getting in Batt. Michigan State is proud to boast one of the nation's most storied athletic programs. We are home to 23 varsity sports, a passionate fan base, a long legacy of academic and athletic excellence, and an ambitious future. Over the past year alone, our student athletes have delivered powerful performances and achieved notable successes, from Big Ten championships in men's basketball and hockey to historic NCAA tournament appearances in multiple sports. Our teams, athletes, and department staff continue to represent Michigan State University with pride on the national stage. This month, for example, men's tennis's Ozan Bar is representing us in the USTA's US Open wildcard playoffs, and 3 Spartans compete in the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships coming up. And we are excelling in the classroom as well. This spring, our student athletes posted a cumulative GPA of 3.37, the highest in department history. These accomplishments reflect the resilience, drive, and dedication that define Spartan Nation, and they form a strong foundation for even greater success in the years to come. So we are definitely a program achieving and aspiring for more greatness, and I know Batt will lead us forward for much more success ahead. I'll have more to say in a bit about Batt, but first, I want to have Coach Tom Izzo come up and say a few words. Coach Izzo has been a valued partner by my side over these past 15 months. I started March 4th last year. I think today might be the start of month 16, Coach. And I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me personally, but for your love and dedication to Michigan State University. So with that, I want to welcome Coach Tom Izzo.
Well, it's an unbelievable crowd. I think this shows, hopefully, the Batts, the excitement that Michigan State brings, and it is great to have everybody here. And my good friend Gregory Eaton, I think Gregory, we're going to give the youngest in the crowd, that's one of the Batt boys here, and we're going to give the oldest in the crowd is you, but God darn it, you look damn good right now, I tell you that. So thank you, Gregory, for coming. But I got the privilege to fly down and meet with Jay and Leah, and it was, what we were looking for is, it's a new era, unfortunately or unfortunately, where we have to do a lot with the NIL and fundraising, and he's been at some good places. He worked a little bit with Gary Williams at Maryland. And of course, he worked 5 or 6 years with Nick Saban. If you can work for those two guys, you can work for anybody, the way I look at it. But both of them, and Nick had great comments about him, and I think that is valuable to us, to me. I know those of us that believe in having success. I think he's been in places that has had success. The commissioner of the ACC, Jim Phillips, who's a friend of ours, a guy that I really respect, had rave reviews. So it's speed dating. That's what the portal is. That's the way it is getting to be hiring coaches. You only have a couple days and everybody's got to make decisions. And I can promise you that from our standpoint, we did our work in a couple days to try to make sure we vetted everything that was right for Michigan State. I would just end it by saying this. There's no coach. There's no president. Sorry, Mr. President. There's no program here that's going to do as well as they should do without all of us together. And I think that is the name of the game. You know, part of his success will be the success we help him get. And so we all have an obligation in this. We all have an obligation, whether it be our donors, whether it be our assistant coaches, whether it be our media, and whether it be, just kidding guys, but anybody else. We all have a valuable reason because we all love the place. And the place, we all know we've been through a lot, but I also look at the opportunity, and that's what I said to Jay and his wife when we visited them, and that's what I say now. So I just want to tell you from the standpoint, Jen is on a Zoom call, I guess, taking care of some business she has. She's done an incredible job as interim AD. I kind of went along for the ride, and I appreciate all the letters from all of you giving me advice to fire the head basketball coach while I'm interim AD. And I did think about it on a big note, but I decided that I want to be a part of where we're going. And I ended what I said about Kevin. You know, some of us were on a committee, and I look at two things in life. You're either going to fly like an airplane or you're going to take off like a rocket. And right now we have to take off like a rocket because nobody waits for athletics. Nobody waits. They want instant success and instant credibility. And I think we've got a guy that can hit the ground running because of where he's been and what he's been through, and has the knowledge of maybe the new era, which I'm trying to get some knowledge of myself. But I think you're all going to be really excited. I know Loopy and I were. I know the president was. And so I'll turn it back over to you to do your real formal introduction. But I appreciate the incredible turnout for something like this. Really speaks volumes of who we are, what we are, and now it's going to be what we can become. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach Izzo. And this is about family. And you look around this room, it's family. And that's what Amy and I felt about a year and a half ago when we started exploring the opportunity. It's why I wanted Coach Izzo and Loopy and Don Williams, Greg Williams, Amy and I to go down and spend a little bit of time with the Batt family and look what's happened. But so, Coach, thank you for all that you do. Thank you. I'm going to also acknowledge and thank Jen Smith, our other co-interim athletics director. Where is Jen? She's way back there. Jen, round of applause for Jen Smith. Thank you. And your work's not finished, Coach and Jen, because I think we still got about 12, 14 days to go. At any rate, no, you didn't. So, while we have so much to be excited about and about this family, it's also a reality that things are changing, as Coach said earlier. Athletics across the U.S. Is at a pivotal point. One where innovation, effective communication, and community engagement have become more important than ever. Just over a month ago, I announced a national search for our next athletic director. We sought a leader who could best navigate the changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, one who can work closely with both internal and external stakeholders to move Michigan State University forward as a leader among the Power 4 institutions. We hired Turnkey. Chad Chatlos helped us lead the search from Turnkey. Many of you know Chad. Chad's father played on our 1965-66 national championship teams here at Michigan State University. I wanted Chad to lead that search because he knows what Michigan State University family is about and what it means. And I asked him at the front end of that search, I said, I want to know who the top 5 or 6 people in the country are. And he said, do you want to know the top 5 or 6 that are movable? Or do you want to know the top 5 or 6? I said, Chad, Michigan State deserves the best. I want to know who the best 5 or 6 are. The top of that list was the guy that we got. He said, I'm not sure he's movable. I said, get him on the phone. Chad got him on the phone. We got him on a Zoom interview. We got him down in Atlanta. And so I can't thank Chad, Chatlos, Turnkey for helping to make this possible. But Michigan State University deserves the best, and that's what we got. And so today, I am excited to welcome Jay Batt as our next Vice President and Director of Athletics at Michigan State University, and to welcome Jay's spouse, Leah, and their sons to the Michigan State family, and to Spartan Nation, as you're going to learn. That's kind of how we call it. It is Spartan Nation. Jay is a visionary leader with a strong record of success, a deep commitment to student-athlete development, and a passion for building championship-caliber programs rooted in integrity and academic excellence. As Director of Athletics at Georgia Tech, he led unprecedented growth in both fundraising and facilities development. Earlier, as Senior Athletics Administrator at the University of Alabama, he helped build national championship programs and elevate student-athlete support systems. Jay is committed to excellence in every dimension of the student-athlete experience: competitive success, academic achievement, personal development, and community engagement, something that is critically important in this new era that Coach Izzo just talked about. His vision aligns seamlessly with our institutional values and our shared commitment to integrity, equity, and the holistic development of all who wear the green and white. In addition to the transitional stewardship of Tom Izzo and Jen Smith, I also want to take an opportunity to thank Alan Haller for his 3+ years of leadership of our athletic department, which he performed with commitment, honesty, and integrity. And now, I look forward to a new era of success in the dynamic environment of intercollegiate athletics. This is an exciting development for our university and our collective Spartan spirit, which has never been stronger. So please join me in welcoming Michigan State's next Director of Athletics, our 21st Director, Jay Batt.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is an incredible moment for me, for our family. We're truly humbled to be here today, Kevin. Thank you. Let me start with a few thank yous. Certainly, President Guskowitz, thank you for trusting me with this opportunity, with this athletic department, and for the ability to join your team. The Board of Trustees, thank you for your trust. Certainly, Kelly Tebay, our chair, thank you for all your help through this process and your support. We couldn't do it without your leadership and support. And thank you for that. Coach, thank you. Jen Smith, thank you as well. Not only for your work as interim AD, but as we got to know one another through this process, I think I truly understood what it meant to be part of this family. And it's a huge part of what made it seem like home for Leah and I. So thank you for that. Jen, I can't wait to work with you and continue to drive the excellence you've already established here each and every day. You know, these are all-in jobs. I think as you'll get to know me, I'm an all-in person. Each and every day, all things. And you can't do that without a great family. And so I want to just take a minute and thank my wife, Leah. She is my incredibly better half. Beyond blessed to have you, darling. So thank you for your support. Boys, thank you for your sacrifice and support. You look good in green. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And you know, this is a journey. My journey began as a student athlete at the University of North Carolina almost 25 years ago. It's hard to say. As a below average soccer player, probably better suited to contribute to the GPA than the actual field. But I learned a lot during that time as a student athlete. I learned what it meant to be part of an elite team, part of what it meant to win at the highest level. But it cemented for me that college athletics is about opportunity. It's about opportunity. I learned the impact a coach can have on the life of a student athlete, just like a faculty member or university administrator can. And at the end of the day, I wanted to have impact on student athletes. And so no matter how college athletics shifts, good or bad, it is about opportunity. And as we head into this opportunity, this is truly an amazing opportunity. Between the excellence of this university, tradition and history of our former alums and athletics programs, all of our alumni, donors, and fans, student athletes in this incredible East Lansing community, this is truly a special place. I've had the opportunity to meet with our coaches and staff earlier today. I can promise you this is an incredible group. They're working their tails off each and every day to help drive success for our student athletes and each other. I've also had an opportunity to meet a few of our student athletes, and while I haven't met all of them, you can be incredibly proud of the young people that are wearing the green and white. I've also talked to Commissioner Petiti and several of my athletic director colleagues this week. It is an incredibly awesome time to be a part of the Big Ten Conference. The Big Ten is leading the way, and I can't tell you how excited I am to join that league and this room together. You know, opportunities often require good timing. It is an excellent time for Michigan State. So we head into the next era of intercollegiate athletics. This era will continue to be dynamic, require additional resources, and provide new challenges daily. But the key to that success is alignment. And under President Guskiewicz' leadership, the support of the board, and the entire Spartan family, we are well positioned not to survive that change, but to take advantage of it, to take ground, to move forward, make progress. Now, we'll ask everyone in the family to pull in the same direction, to do their part. And it'll require more than we've ever done before. We'll pull harder, give deeper, run harder, run faster. But in the end, the success will ultimately be worth it. The opportunities for success here will involve student athletes graduating. They'll continue to succeed off the field of competition, as we've said before. But it will include championships at the very highest level across our athletic department. It's imperative we support all our sports. But do not be confused. Every athletics department competing at the highest level must be successful in football. So Coach Izzo and I have already talked. Coach is the biggest supporter of our football program there is. We'll do everything we possibly can to dive in, help Coach Smith, and continue to drive excellence and support you in all you need, Coach, while continuing to provide championship-level resources for all of our programs. This is a top 10 athletic department in the country. Say it again. This is a top 10 athletic department in the country. Look forward to applying hard work, energy, effort, creativity, and the highest level of integrity each and every day to support our coaches and student athletes as we strive for that level of success. I have much to learn about Michigan State. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, all of you in this room and those I haven't met yet. I have a lot of listening to do, but we're going to dive into the traditions and the history that makes this place so special. From 27 national championships, transcendent athletes, and iconic coaches, we have it all. This place is special. Our family will be present at games, community events, campus events, and we look forward, most importantly, to building relationships with you, our fans, our supporters here today, but also those of you not here today as well. I can't wait to get back to East Lansing here in a few weeks and get to work. Again, my sincere thanks to you, President Guskiewicz, and the board for your belief in me, and certainly not last, go green. Thank you all.
At this point, I'd like to welcome President Geskowitz back to the podium to join Jay for Q&A from media members. Media, we have mics on both sides. Raise your hand, we'll get a mic over to you. Fred, and if media could please identify both your name and outlet, that would be helpful for our new athletic director.
I don't have to be first, but welcome. I'm Fred Human from the NBC affiliate here in Lansing.
Thank you, Fred.
Coach Izzo often is fond of saying, challenges are not a responsibility, they're a privilege. You got all the coaches in this room. We don't see this often. What kind of a privilege is it for you to lead this group of individuals in an era that's changing like it never has?
It's an incredible privilege. This is an incredible place, defined certainly in no small part by our incredible coaches and student athletes. And so to be here today, to join this Spartan family is an incredible privilege, and I can't tell you how excited we are to get started.
Chris
Solari, Detroit Free Press. Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, you mentioned the Big Ten and the role within the Big Ten as being something that drew you to this job. How do you enhance Michigan State's role within the Big Ten leadership and up towards the upper echelon? Previously, they had been at that seat. How do you get back to that?
You know, certainly that starts on campus. We have a lot of, we have work to do. We've got an incredible team, incredible coaches, incredible student athletes. So we're going to work. Commissioner Petiti is an incredible leader, truly blessed to have his leadership in the league. And so it involves, certainly us working hard on that each and every day.
Jack
Ebling, Drive with Jack and Press Pass. Welcome again.
Yes, sir.
Michigan State has a unique story to tell, socially as well as in terms of success. How important is it for you to learn that story and spread that message at a time when everything seems transactional and that money only matters?
It's incredibly important. My first job will be to listen and learn. I'll spend a lot of time asking questions and listening and learning. And then at the end of the day, here at Michigan State, but nationally, college athletics is worth it, right? The endeavor that we have, that we take on, that we, back to what I said earlier, we were in the opportunity business. And so it's changing for certainly at a rapid and dynamic pace. But that change provides opportunity, and it provides some of the things that are the same. And those things are worth it. And so we're going to continue to work hard to provide those opportunities for student athletes and to drive home those things that make Michigan State truly special.
Connor.
Here at Detroit News. Jay, welcome to East Lansing.
Thank you.
You were a non-revenue athlete yourself in college, and obviously this landscape of college sports is changing for what non-revenue sports face. Where do you see their role in this next wave of college athletics?
That's a great question. I see them as continually incredibly important, right? If we talk about if opportunity is the key to and the currency of our business, those revenue sports the revenue sports help drive, but at the end of the day, those Olympic sports, the non-revenue sports, they're just as important. And so success across the board is an important goal, and this is a top 10 athletic department and will be successful.
Larry
H from the Associated Press. Welcome to East Lansing.
Thank you.
Did you talk to Nick Saban about this place? What did he say, and what did you hear from other people?
I'll tell you that as long as I've known Coach Saban, he's been so positive about East Lansing, about our fan base here, about this place. And so immediately when Chad Chatlis reached out and had a chance to think about it, it was an immediate yes for me, because certainly Coach helped frame that for me. He's so positive about Michigan State and his time here that it made it for an easy discussion.
Woj.
Bob Winowski from the Detroit News. Coach Izzo had mentioned in his statement that it can't be like a plane, it's got to be a rocket going straight up. So I gather there's some urgency to the changing environment and your involvement. How much can you change, how quickly, and how much needs to change at Michigan State?
Certainly, I'm sure there's a bunch that we'll need to dive into. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that looks like until we get here. And so this is a dynamic environment. It'll require new, different things brought to the table, new resources, right? What it's going to take to be successful continues to change. when we get here, we'll figure that out and spend more time with that.
Can I just follow up real quickly? Town likes to speak of the white elephant in the room, and the white elephant in the room is NIL and
Sure.
donor money and everything else. I assume that is a major priority for this regime?
You know, we're going to be extremely successful and competitive in that space. We're going to be intentional about providing all of our coaches the resources to be successful at championship level. I'll tell you, I believe as we head into the revenue share, the post-house settlement, hopefully, what that requires will change, and how we approach that space will change. But I can tell you we'll have a great plan. We'll be united in that plan. We'll be aligned in that plan, from President Guskowitz to our coaches to our board as we head into that era.
Chris Solari, Detroit Free Press, is for President Guskowitz. When you went into this a month ago in the process, as you were looking and identifying what you wanted in an athletic director, one, I guess, could you maybe talk about the traits that Jay brought out that maybe stood above everybody else? And then also, in the current environment nationally with how important athletics is in the changing, how much is the communication and, I guess, cohesion with the university president and an athletic director necessary right now?
Great, thanks, Chris. I wanted a thought leader. I wanted somebody who was respected at the highest level in the industry. Jim Phillips is a good friend of mine as well, as Coach Izzo said. That call to him was a little difficult because I was potentially pulling away one of the top ADs in the ACC. Which is where I came from, and admire so many people there. But I wanted a thought leader. I wanted somebody who that I knew, because I've seen Jay work at that level when I was chancellor at UNC Chapel Hill, and we got together at meetings. And he's a guy that rolls his sleeves up, and he's at the table, and he's invested, and he's not sitting back. A thought leader nationally, somebody who can get creative around the new revenue streams, which is so critically important. Somebody who's outward facing and engaging. And I mean, I've heard from so many people in the room here in the past couple of days that he's already called you, some of you, many of you, texted with you. That's who he is. You will get to know Jay Batt, and that's what will take us to the next level. And on top of that, he was a better soccer player than he's going to let you believe. So, thanks.
Is also for Kevin. Following up on the rocket analogy, as you got to know Jay, what's his rocket fuel?
It is spending time with these incredible coaches as I'm looking out across here. We have amazing coaches here that he's going to get to know. They're going to help him get to know this place better. We have really rich traditions here at Michigan State that I've learned in my 15 months are really important to people in this room that care deeply about Michigan State. And he has already talked about a listening and learning tour. That's what I did. So it's embracing those rich traditions, but getting out and finding out how do we become a more contemporary, bold, thinking, looking institution. That's the rocket fuel. It's a combination of embracing the rich traditions that are important to people at Michigan State, and to the Big Ten, but finding that new rocket fuel, that new version of it that's going to take us. And I love Coach's analogy that I've heard him use it once or twice before. Luke, I think you have too. But this is a guy who'll get it done. And I didn't say earlier in my comments, I want to make sure we have amazing coaches here that are part of that rocket ship. And I know Jay's going to spend a lot of time over the next few weeks to get to know them. So, thanks.
Are there any addition? Fred?
President Guskowitz, once more, Fred Human again. I don't know if you want to admit this in front of him, but in your conversations and doing your homework on him, is there anything he did or said where you said, this is our new leader? That's it.
I mean, I lost the last part.
Was there anything he did or said that pushed you over the hump and said, this is our new leader?
Well, just the fact that he took my call and I was told he wouldn't. That was a good start. But we reminisced a little bit about our, going back 25 years ago, and but realized that we really hadn't worked closer together during the past 24, 25 years. But it was just confirming the things that I thought about Jay, some of the questions about how you build a leadership team, how you evaluate people, how you set expectations. I'm a big believer in setting expectations, and that was a big part of what we heard in developing the leadership profile. And I want to thank a number of folks in the room, including a number of our trustees that provided some of that input in building that leadership profile. But setting expectations is something he's done really well. and getting people to align to a vision, align to a strategic roadmap and plan. One of the things I think he said, and then I'll stop, that's a long answer to your question, but strategic roadmaps, you can't, it's easy to say we're going to have a plan for the next 10 years, but with the way the landscape of intercollegiate athletics is changing, he's like, we got to think about what does our plan look like for the next 18 months perhaps, and let's build it out that way. We'll get to the longer range plan, but that's what we're going to do. And we're both strategic thinkers, strategic leaders, and I think you're all going to love them. So, thank you.
Bob Winowski, Detroit News for Jay. You had mentioned in your statements, obviously, that football is paramount for any athletic department. What can you do to push that? You said you're going to do everything you can to help Coach Smith. Is that facilities? Is that NIL? Just at first blush, how can you push that along?
I had a chance to catch up with Coach Smith this week and again today. Certainly we haven't dove into exactly where that's going to be and how we can help, but at the end of the day, it comes down to resources, right? And across the board, we will work very, very hard each and every day to provide him and his staff the resources they need to be successful.
Aiden. Cross.
Aiden Champion, Michigan State Spartans on SI. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you.
You made some great hires at Georgia Tech. A lot of this has been about what Michigan State saw in you. What do you look for in people under you that you oversee?
That's a broad question. I think there's there's certainly some things. You start with the integrity, right? Integrity is key at the highest level. And then we want an athletic department full of competitors, right? This is a place in which we're judged on winning, but doing it the right way. So those people that make and fit that mold, and then fit is truly important. So kind of zooming out, fit for your place, for your program, for that timing, all important as you build a team.
All right, we got time for two more, starting with Stephen.
Stephen Brooks, 24/7 Sports. This is for Kevin, actually. Kevin, I'm curious, a lot of references today about the changing landscape of college athletics. Within these last couple of years, we've seen people hired into leadership positions that don't come from maybe the traditional college administrator sort of pipeline. You rise up the ranks that way. They come from outside or adjacent sort of spheres. Was it important to you to hire somebody like Jay with sitting AD experience that sort of navigated this environment that we're in right now, or why or why not?
Great question, and I think we got the best of both because we looked for, there are two different, and you're right, you're seeing athletic directors around the country, some being hired in institutions where they're bringing somebody out of corporate America or somebody that's been working in the major leagues, perhaps at has not been a traditional athletics director, but they understand the corporate side, the business side of the operation. And there's some risk in doing that, although I think you're going to see more of that. With Jay Batt, we've got somebody who spent most of his last, probably 15 years doing that, but yet he's played the game. An outstanding Division I athlete. One of the things that was important to me is to know that he develops relationships with coaches. I'm saying that for the second time, and I know that he can do that. He has walked the sidelines, been on the sidelines as an athlete himself, but also spending a lot of time with coaches and some really good coaches. But he understands the business side, the corporate side of this, and so I think we got the best of both.
And we'll wrap up with Connor.
Connor here, Detroit News. Question for Jay. A few weeks ago on a podcast, you talked about the importance of alignment for an athletic department. As you look at Michigan State, and this room, I think, speaks to the alignment a little bit, but in terms of cultivating that alignment from here on out, what are your sort of goals in that regard?
Yeah, I would tell you that alignment institutionally with our coaches, with our fans, our top to bottom is the most important thing as you approach change, right? Regardless of the industry, change is an opportunity, and alignment is the biggest strength I believe we have here at Michigan State. The leadership of our president, in concert with our board, and with the incredible passion of our donor base, that alignment is truly powerful. Our coaches, our student athletes, it's all pointing that right, that rocket fueling up. So thank you.